welcome to session 2 of day 6 of the Get Set Parent Children's Literature, Art and Music Festival in association with Vishwarang. So hope you've been attending all the amazing sessions that we've planned for you. And in case you've missed a few, don't worry. All you have to do is go to the playlist on this channel and see all the episodes. You can watch them at your own pace any number of times. So kids, today I'm very delighted to welcome on our YouTube channel Mr. Savio Mascarenhas. He is the group art director of Amar Chitrakatha and Tinkle, and today he is going to show us how to draw Supandi, right? So Supandi is this really goofy character from Tinkle. He was created in 1983, and since then children have been, enjoying his antics for over 4 decades. So Mr. Savio is one of the most noted cartoonists of India. He's been in the world of cartooning for 25 years, and I can't wait to, see how we can draw Supandi. Right? So let's get right into this session. Over to you, Savio. Looking forward to a great session.
Thank you, Pallavi, for the introduction and the invitation to be a part of this Children's Literature, Art and Music Festival. How grand is that? And I'm so happy to be a part of this. And you know why an occasion like this is so important? Because you get children to indulge in an art form which is so unique. The world where I come from, that's comics, is such a fascinating world, and where you get to know about characters from the comic world, and you know how to make a comic strip, and that is what I'm going to do. I work for Tinkle. My name is Savio, as you all know, and I work as a comic book artist. Now you will ask me, what is a comic book artist? A comic book artist is a guy who draws all those funny little drawings in a comic book, and I will show you how to make a comic strip once you create your character. Now, a very interesting character that I know from Tinkle, and of course, you guys must be huge fans of this fellow. His name is Supandi, and of course, there's another guy. The guy with a mustache, and he's a very brave hunter, if I must say. Not a hunter, actually, he's a conservationist. He hunts down not the wild animals, but the poachers who are the bad guys, and that is Shambu. Shambu, the conservationist, and Supandi. These are two very popular characters from Tinkle, and I'm going to show you how do we draw these characters in Tinkle, and how do you make your own little comic strip. Okay, are we all ready? Okay, so what I will be doing is I will be sharing my screen with you. And what you see on screen, we will follow step by step. I will go really slow for you to understand what we do. Okay, so I will share my screen now. And 1 second. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to have a piece of paper right there in front of you. Okay. If you're all ready with your papers and pencils, these are the 2 things that we will be needing today. Nothing great, no color pencils, nothing at all, just your pencils and papers. Are we all ready? Okay. Now we are going to draw a comic strip, which is going to be horizontal. So I will just rotate my sheet. Okay, here we are. Now, Supandi is one of the most popular characters in Tinkle, which started way back in 1982. And so, you know what? Tinkle is celebrating his 40th birthday, and that makes Supandi really old. But do you really think he's that old? He is super funny and forever young at heart. So I'm going to show you how to draw Supandi. Okay, now you need to come to one part of your sheet, to this part, that's the top part of your sheet, and I want you all to draw a little box. Okay, I will come to the box, why the box and why Supandi, the character in this box. Okay, let's draw the box first, and here we have a little box. Okay, now we are going to draw Supandi in this box. Okay, Supandi, as you all know, is very, very distinctive with his characters, and there's something very, very unique about him. And you guys must be knowing, he has a very long nose. But we are not going to start with his nose. We are going to start with his head, which is, I'll tell you, a straight line that you need to draw like this. Okay, very simple, a straight line. Then come to this part and bring it down slowly to here. So this, okay, this much, and then another short line here. And now for the amazing Supandi nose. Okay, yeah. Okay, there you go. You have his nose, and then he's got a nice long chin. Okay, very simple. One straight line, one curved line, one short line, the nose, a little curved line here, then one straight line here, a little straight line here, and then bring it back up here. Okay, we're almost done. Now let's come to this part, then bring it a little ahead and draw a C. Okay, the letter C and another small C. So that's Supandi's ear, and we will draw his neck. So here you have Supandi's face already, but now what's missing are those wonderful eyes. Okay, so let's draw Supandi's eyes. They're very simple. They're just going to be two dots. Okay, two dots here, and a big smile. You know, Supandi is a cheerful fellow. He loses his job every day practically, but he's so lucky that the very next day he'll get a new job. So Supandi is never out of job and is forever, like, you know, so enthusiastic with whatever job he gets, but unfortunately he loses it at the end of the day. So here you have Supandi, and finally I'll be forgetting something which is very interesting about Supandi. He has just 3 strands of hair. One, which are triangular pieces like this, which reminds me of pizzas maybe. Okay, so 3 triangular pieces like this, and we shall color it black. Okay, here you go. Here you have Supandi already. Let's give him a little bit of a collar. Okay, so you can add his collar, which is like a rectangular piece here. Okay, so here we have a character. Now, you would say, what do we do with a character? We have to make a story. Now I will tell you what is this important ingredient which goes along with a character that makes a story. So I will just put down over here character, that's Supandi. Oh, okay. Okay. And now that we have the character Supandi over here, let's give him an object. There are these 2 important things that you need now to put Supandi in a story. You will need character, that's Supandi right there. If you give Supandi an object and a situation, we will be able to make a story, and a very short one, and it's going to be super easy. Okay, now let's do one more box. Over here, let's create another little box. Okay. One box here. This is going to be the prop. So I just put prop over here. Okay, prop. And the third one, let's put a box where we may not draw the entire situation because it's going to be too crammed up in this little box. Sorry. Okay. Here we have a little box where we are going to write about a situation. Okay. Okay, now I'll make this very, very simple for you. Like when I said, what are the 3 important things that you need to make a story? First is a character, second is a prop, and the third is a situation. I will give you an example, and I will share one more sheet with you right here. I've made something for you guys. Okay, so here we have character, that's Supandi. And I've listed down a few more very important characters from Tinkle. That's Shambhu, the second character, Tantri, is another character. Tantri is this mantri who wants to be the king instead of Puja, who is the king. So I put Puja's name down there as a character. And finally, I have Supandi's best friend, Maddie. Okay, so now I have listed down what do you mean by characters. Characters are basically personalities who you like, who you love. They could be Supandi, Shambhu, Tantri, Huja, Maddie, as I have put them down here because they are from Tinkle, and this is a Tinkle comic making workshop. I have put the characters as they appear in Tinkle. But when you make your own story, you can think of any character that you want. You can replace these characters with the characters that you love. Now, let's come to the second part of it. Now, this is the prop. The prop is also an object. Now, I have listed down a few objects over here. First one is a pogo stick. Second is a toothbrush. Third is a magic lamp. Fourth is a magnifying glass. And the fifth is a pressure cooker. Out of nowhere, you know why I've chosen these particular objects? Because they can make a very interesting story. Just imagine Supandi with either one of them. Okay, maybe Supandi with a magic lamp, or maybe with a magnifying glass. Or would you really trust Supandi with a pressure cooker? Well, you know what's going to happen. And of course, Supandi with a pogo stick. So they are going to make up some very interesting stories. So now what we're going to do next is we are going to select one of these objects. And finally, we will come to the last part, that is the situation. And like you see over here, the situations are underwater. Okay, imagine Supandi underwater. And when I say underwater, immediately what should come in your mind is all the things that you would see underwater, right? So you would see the shark, you would see the tiny fish, then you would see the little, what do you call those, turtles, there would be sea turtles, and there would be crabs, and whatever you would want to imagine inside underwater in a sea, what you would see. Okay, next is on top of a volcano. Okay, and that can be something very, very dangerous, but very interesting, I tell you. And the third is the Jurassic Age. Jurassic Age, where of course you're going to meet a lot of dinosaurs. So just imagine Supandi with maybe a magic lamp in a Jurassic Age. How interesting could that be? Okay, next one. Okay, that's on an alien planet. Now this is where you can go completely crazy about. You know, you can create your own planet with some alien creatures on it, right? And for the last part, you have a pirate ship where you can have those pirates, evil-looking pirates, and there's Supandi along with them. And what can happen on a ship when there is Supandi and pirates and maybe a pressure cooker? I don't know. We're going to pick up these objects. So now, let's pick one character. We already have Supandi. I'm going to show you how to draw one object from here. And then finally, we're going to select a situation. Okay, if I really like something from this, maybe I'll take the magic lamp. Okay, so I'll take Supandi, the magic lamp, and finally, let's do something about underwater. Now let's see what can we create with Supandi, magic lamp, and underwater. And of course, like I said, this is an exercise for you. You can always change your characters, you can always change your prop, you can always change your situations. What you like, you can pick from these and make your own little story. But for this workshop, let me show you how do I put Supandi underwater with the magic lamp. Okay, so are we all set? Okay, now let's get back to our sheet where we left from. Let's come to the prop. Now what have we selected? We have selected the magic lamp. Now the magic lamp is very simple. You all have seen a magic lamp, of course, and it is okay, let me see how it goes. It's like a cup. Okay, and let's join this here. Okay, and a little curve on the top and a little thing here, and let's give it a snout. Okay, and finally let's add in the handle. Okay, so here you have, I'm keeping it very simple so that it's very easy for you guys to draw this. Okay, and then let's add in a little bit of design if you want to, right? All these details can come in later. So let's make a little magic lamp. You can give a little base to it so that, you know, it can be kept in one place. So here you have Supandi and the prop. Let's go once again with the prop. Very simple. curved lines, all curved lines. It's very simple. You can just follow the steps and you can draw a simple magic lamp. Of course, you can make it very fancy the way you want it. And the third one is a situation, of course. Now we can't draw the entire situation here. So I have just said underwater. So underwater, you see a lot of maybe tiny fish over here. Okay, and there are a lot of bubbles around, right? But we are going to draw in detail over there. I'm just drawing something rough to give an idea of, and you can draw those weeds, underwater weeds, right? Okay. So here you have the underwater scene, but we are going to draw a nice big scene in our panels. Now, how do you start a story? Okay, here we are going to draw, like I said, keeping it short. We're going to keep it very, very simple. We are going to keep it within 3 panels. Okay, now let's draw these panels. Okay, so here you have your box. Now let's divide this into panel 1, 2 and 3. Okay, are you all ready? Panel 1 and 2. Let's keep the panel 3 a little bigger because that is where your story is going to end. Or you can give it a climax and you can maybe make a panel 4 also, depending on how you plan your story. Okay, now let's come to panel 1. And of course, on the top over here, like it appears in the comics, you put the name of the story. Okay, now let's see what's the name of the story that we want to give. Supandi underwater. Supandi, and so you'll write your story title over here. Okay, Supandi. I'm just giving a very rough title to this, and water. Okay, you can come up with smarter titles than this, right? Okay, so Supandi underwater, and you can write your name over here, who's the artist, who's the writer. That detail will come over here. So you'll leave a little space over here, you'll write your name, and you can put all those details right here. Who is the artist? That comes here. So this is how it appears in a comic book. You put the title up there and you give the credits. Credits are who's the writer, who's the artist, who's the colorist. Okay, and in this case you are all that, so your name is going to appear right there. Okay, now let's start a story. Now Supandi is with this prop. The prop is the magic lamp. Okay, so how do we start a story? So let's imagine Supandi has found this magic lamp while he was walking on the beach. He had just lost his job and Supandi didn't know what to do. So he had gone to the beach and he was just kicking around in the sand when he kicked something and he said, "Ouch, what is it?" And he picked up this magic lamp. So here we are going to draw Supandi. Okay, let me make this a little smaller. Okay, you guys can see this. Okay, I'm zooming in on the screen so you can see this more clearly. So now we are going to compose a scene. Okay, so we know that Supandi has got a dialogue which says, "Ouch, what is this?" And he looks at it and says, "Oh, it's a magic lamp. Oh, it's a lamp," he says. And he doesn't know it's a magic lamp, of course. He says it's a lamp. Okay, so here we have Supandi. So we will draw Supandi like I have shown here. Okay, and okay, give him a big smile. Supandi is super happy to find this. And now I'm going to show you another thing. We may not be able to draw complete Supandi as the way we draw him in comics. So what you're going to do is we are going to draw stick figures. Okay, so let's draw stick figures. We all know stick figures, right? Stick figures are very simple to draw, like this. Okay, just straight lines, curved lines, and for the hands we're going to use circles like this. And here Supandi is holding the lamp. Okay, so here you have the lamp. Okay, you can do other designs later, but this is just a rough. So then you can always build up on this and you can draw the clothes and everything, but I'm just making it very simple for you so that you can draw it very easily. And now Supandi is at the beach, so you show the water. Okay, and this is the sand here. Okay, and there's this beach over here. You can show the sea. Okay, and somewhere in the distance you can show some clouds. This is like adding in the details. Every drawing has to be made interesting. You have to add in details so that it becomes very, very interesting for anyone who sees your story, right? So you can draw this here. Now the dialogue for Supandi that we're going to put in over here. Let me draw in. Okay, so this is called a speech bubble. Okay, now what is Supandi saying? Oh, what is this? It looks like a lamp, and that comes in over here. You can all come up with your own dialogues. This is just an example. So I'm just thinking of a little dialogue for Supandi over here, which I'm going to put it in this box over here. So for now, I'm just going to leave it blank like this with some lines to indicate that Supandi is saying something. Okay, and what he's done is he's saying, can I rub it? Maybe he's saying that, can I rub it? Or we can also show Supandi rubbing the lamp. Okay, now this is panel 1. We are all done with panel 1. Okay, now what happens in panel 2? Let me see, where does the story go? Supandi has rubbed the lamp. Okay, and what has happened? Now that's for you to imagine what is going to come out of that lamp. There will be a lot of guesses for you to tell me, like, maybe there could be the most obvious genie coming out of the lamp. Okay, maybe there could be something more interesting, and I want you all to think about it. What can come out of the lamp? But you know what have I thought over here? I think what is going to come out of this lamp. Let me draw the lamp first here. I'll just draw Supandi's hand. Okay, his hand. Now we don't need to show Supandi in the frame. We are concentrating on what is going to come out of the lamp. Okay, so let's see. You have the lamp over here. Okay. Go with the lamp. Okay, now let's draw what's going to come out of the lamp. Okay, so here you can go all crazy about what is going to come out of the lamp. I want you all to use your imagination. Think of something which will make it very, very interesting in the story, right? You are by the sea. Supandi is by the sea, finds a lamp, rubs it, and what comes out of it? Let me think. If I could think of something which would be very, very interesting, it could be a mermaid or a merman. Okay, either one. Okay, let me draw this little merman. I'm going to give him a little helmet. Okay, and this little hair. He's got a big nose. Of course, he's a huge merman. And you can draw a mermaid, you can draw a fish, you can draw a whale, maybe you could draw a shark, maybe you could draw an octopus coming out of the lamp. How cool is that going to be? Okay, but I think a little merman over here who's got this huge arms, okay, and of course he's got the tail of a fish. Okay, here we go. The merman comes out of the lamp. Okay, so you can draw a lot of, and if he comes out of the lamp, maybe there's a lot of water around, so maybe you could show a lot of water around here. So of course he cannot live without water, so here we have, and then of course you can add in the details. Look at the scales that you have. Okay, it's very simple. I'm keeping it very, very rough so that you guys get an idea of how you can draw this. Okay, now you need to think of a funny dialogue for this merman. What is he going to say as he comes out of the lamp? Okay, so let's give him one dialogue over here. Okay, and that I would leave it up to you to think about what would the merman say to Supandi. Okay, and I'm sure Supandi must be really scared or surprised or amazed to see a merman coming out of that lamp. And what would he say to Supandi? What do you wish? That's what usually they do. All those genies who come out of a lamp would say, what do you wish for? And here, this guy is going to say, what do you wish for? And here we go. Okay. So here we have the second panel all done. Okay, now to the last panel, and that is what would happen now, because this is going to be a climax of your story. And let's imagine what can happen here. What would Supandi wish for? Supandi is amazed to see a merman. A merman is very, very simple to draw. If you are drawing the merman, like I showed you, it's just one simple shape over here with a tail and these hands. You can draw it very, very easily. You can look at this and draw the merman. But the final panel is going to be the climax of what Supandi wishes for. And I know Supandi so well now. I've known him for so many years. I know what Supandi would wish for. Do you really think that, I don't know what, Supandi loses his job so frequently that he's fed up of working on this earth. And I think, you know what Supandi has wished for? Can you guess? Supandi has wished for something. You know, a person who loses his job every day and is so fed up of working for everyone, and you know, like he's saying, I want to do something different and I don't want to be over here and I want to do something on my own, and maybe I would travel, maybe I would go out somewhere. And let's draw, what did Supandi wish for? Can you guess? Supandi wished that he would be a merman too, so that he can explore their world. He can go down there and maybe find out about the underwater world, right? And we can draw Supandi as a merman right here. Give him a big smile. He's very happy to be away from the human world and down there underwater. And now here, your underwater scene comes into. Yes, now you can create your underwater scene. And there is Supandi underwater. You can show all the fish that you want now, who are very happy to see Supandi. Well, they don't know what disasters can come when you have Supandi around. Okay, so but Supandi is going to explore the underwater world and figure out for himself what can he do here. Okay, so you can add in as many fish as you want to. Eyes, okay, and maybe a few crabs over here. So I will leave that all to your imagination. How can you make the scene very, very interesting? And here Supandi could have a dialogue saying that, you know, hi, I am Supandi and how can I help you? And there is Supandi going to be underwater working for the fish maybe, or maybe doing something for the fish. And of course, do you think those fish are going to be happy with Supandi around? Well, I don't know. That's going to be another adventure for Supandi, because Supandi is going to have a wonderful time underwater as a merman. Okay, so here we go. We can add in all the details. You know, you can think of all the things that you can put underwater. Maybe a little octopus over here. And you're going to keep it very simple. Yeah, you have an octopus right there. And maybe a crab down here. Okay. So this is how you can, oh yeah, of course you need to put in the speech bubble for Supandi, and Supandi saying something, hi, I'm Supandi and how can I help you? And here some of the fish are surprised, some of the fish are happy, this one is surprised, this one is confused, so again he's like wondering what happened, and there are some other crabs. This octopus can look alarmed. Okay, so you can give all sort of expressions to all these fish who are underwater, wondering who is this guy and is he going to be really safe when he's underwater here? I don't think so. The fish are not going to be safe for sure. So here you have a little 3 panel which we have created with Supandi underwater. And you can show, like I said, you can go back to that sheet, pick your characters, pick your props, and pick your situation and make your own story. You may pick a pogo stick Okay, you can go to the Jurassic age. You can pick the pressure cooker, and you can go to the top of a volcano. Well, what interesting stuff can happen? And of course, with Supandi, you can pick Shambhu, you can pick Tantri, you can pick Puja, or you can pick Maddie. And all these are those wonderful characters from Tinkle. Okay, so now what I'm going to do next is I'm going to show you. Let me go back to this story. Yeah. So this is how we do make a story, a 3-panel story, since we have a very little time here. So I have shown you how do we make a 3-panel story in such a short span of time. And in Tinkle, we have stories which go on to 4 pages, go on to 6 pages, but each page would have, say, roughly around 6 panels. So what I have shown you is a very short version of a comic strip. And this is how you go about making it. 3 panels, and it's very, very simple, and I'm sure you can make your own little stories. We are all wonderful at making stories, right? We just need a prop, we need a situation, and we need the character. Okay, now speaking of characters, I will show you another interesting character from Tinkle. His name is Shambhu. You can also use Shambhu in your stories, and you can put Shambhu with these props and situations, and you can come up with another wonderful story. So I will take another sheet. Let me take 1 second. Okay. So now I'm going to show you how you draw Shambhu. Shambhu is another very, very interesting character from Tinkle, and he is this lovable guy who loves animals, who's scared of animals, but he's always there to rescue them from the poachers, from the bad guys who hunt them down. So Shambhu's mission in life is to rescue animals and to put them in a safe place. So if they are in danger, and he would rescue them from the poachers, he would take them and keep them in a sanctuary maybe, but not in a zoo, right? We don't like to see animals in a zoo, but we would love to see them in a sanctuary, so, or in a reserve. So here we have, so I'll show you how you draw Shambhu. Now let me tell you a little bit about Shambhu. Shambhu was this character who was created way back in 1982-83, and well, he was created by this artist whose name was Mr. Halbe. Okay, so when Halbe drew him, he made it very, very simple. He just drew a circle. Let me draw a circle for you. 1 second. Okay. Don't worry, our circles are never going to be perfect, but nevertheless, we are going to draw Shambhu. So this is Shambhu's face, and we are going to draw a curved line. Now, what is this curved line? If you all know Shambhu so well, he wears a hat, and this hat is the top part of his head, where you can complete it like this. So here you have the hat, and the hat has a design. Okay, so one curved line and 3 curved lines here. Done. Okay, so this is the design on Shambhu's hat, and there's a little bit on the top, which is a rectangular box. Now, for the most important part is Shambhu's nose. You can never see Shambhu's eyes. No one has ever seen Shambhu's eyes, because that's the way the artist has drawn him. He thought, I need to make my character so interesting that, no one can guess how he looks, like how his eyes are, and will always be a mystery. That's a mystery till today. Every child asks this, what about Shambhu's eyes? Has anyone seen his eyes? And we said, we don't know, because that's the way it has been, a mystery well kept for so many years, and we want to keep this mystery going on. So you will never get to see Shambhu's eyes, but you will get to see his nose right there. Okay, are we done with this? Now we draw Shambhu's mustache. He's got a big flourishing mustache. He's very proud about his mustache, and his mustache expresses what Shambhu feels, right? If Shambhu is happy, you will find his mustache going up like this. And I'm sure Shambhu is surely happy to see all of you here. All of you Shambhu fans, So this is Shambhu's mustache. Let's make it black. Okay. Yeah. And let's complete the hat with one curved line here, another curve here. Okay. So here you have the hat ready. And finally, let's do Shambhu a bit. Okay. Got it? And of course, you can draw a bit of his collar right here, which are basically 3 triangles, 1, 2, and 3, with a little button over here. So here you have Shambhu. Shambhu, the brave conservationist who goes out there to rescue animals, and he's never like failed in his adventures. He's always come victorious. He's like, oh, and today now Shambhu is traveling the world. If you have read the latest Tinkles, Shambhu is in Australia. Before that, he was in Japan, and before that, I guess he was somewhere in Europe. He was in Finland, right? And he's been traveling all over the world with his adventures, and that's how you get to meet all the interesting animals and birds in these areas. So when he was in Japan, he met some very interesting animals and birds. Now that he's in Australia, he's again having a lot of adventures with a lot of animals from Australia. So that is what Shambhu is doing these days. He's traveling the world. You can read about his adventures from Tinkle, and if you're Tinkle readers already, of course, you must have read all his adventures. So this is how you draw Shambhu, another very, very interesting character from Tinkle. Now you can do this. You can make your own story. Go back to the sheet. Shambhu is already there. Give him a prop, give him a situation, and make your own story. Okay, so I will just stop sharing screen, and I'm sure you have followed all of this, and you can always go back. You can look at these steps. You can always go slow. And drawing is not that difficult. Drawing is very, very simple. You can all draw using the very, very simple shapes like circles, squares, triangles. And if you've seen, I have used some very simple shapes like curved lines, straight lines maybe, and some circles, some ovals, correct? And I have drawn characters like Supandi, Shambu. And if you had more time, we could have gone into drawing more characters. But this is where I wanted to show you how do you make your own little comic strip like this, and with very simple things, prop, situation, and you make your own little comic strips. Okay, so I hope you all have loved this session, and I wish you all the best with your creating your own little comic strip. And if it's a wonderful medium to express yourself. Comics has been the best way to tell a story, where you have to put everything down in visuals, and we all like to draw. Like I said, drawing is not at all difficult. Drawing is the simplest thing that you can do, and anyone can draw. You have to understand shapes, you have to understand how do you use them, and use your imagination a bit, right? And with a very simple exercise like this, you can create your own comic strip. Okay, so thank you very much, and I really enjoyed sharing my little knowledge about comics with you, and I hope, and I do hope, that you all practice a lot and get better at making your own little comic strips. So hope to see you sometime, and please do share your drawings with us. You can always write to us at Tinkle and send us your drawings to Tinkle. You can send us your stories, and we would be happy to see them. And if they're really good, they will get published in Tinkle, of course. So thank you very much, and see you all. Bye.
That was so cool, Savio. Thank you. I didn't know that, Supandi could be drawn with so much technique and so easily. Thank you so much for that. And this is going to be one of the favorite sessions, I'm sure, for our little children everywhere. So kids, you can practice it, watch the video again and again and practice it, right? So don't go anywhere. We are going to meet award-winning children's author Nandini Nair very soon in the next session. She is going to read out 2 very interesting stories. She is going to narrate them to you, and then we're going to talk to her and understand how did she write 50 books for children. I mean, that's huge. So let's talk to her. Don't go anywhere. And before you log off this session, please press the bell icon and press subscribe. to stay in tune with all our episodes, and also follow me on Instagram and Facebook. So see you in session 3. Bye.